Hi everyone, it's Stacy. Thank you for coming on this yoga leap with me. Welcome back to anyone who's practicing with me for any amount of time, and welcome to anyone finding the videos for the first time. I've got my chair set up and my mat back there. I'm probably not going to be using the chair too much, but it is there as an option, as a prop, as well as if you want to practice with any other props such as blocks, straps, pillows, bolsters, blankets. But I will sort of use the chair to help me. I just won't be sitting in it too much. But if you are practicing sitting in the chair, no problem. By all means, find versions of the postures that work for you, and just kind of flow along with us. I won't be doing too much standing work either today. We're going to start seated and just do some lunging and reaching and twisting, and just have a nice feel-good movement session today. So if you've gathered all your props and you're ready to get going, I'll meet you on the mat or in your chair and we'll get started. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to make my way down to the floor. I'm going to start seated. You can sit cross-legged on your shins if that feels okay. And of course, if you are practicing in your chair, go ahead and make your way to your chair and get all comfy cozy there. We'll start with a little bit of breath work as always. If you like to sit up on a towel or a block, by all means go ahead. That sometimes helps sort of roll the pelvis forward and help you sit up nice and tall. Hands can come down to our lap. They can be turned down or up. It sort of depends on which type of energy you're looking to bring to the practice today. Sometimes turning the palms up will invite energy, and turning them down might bring energy down. So depending on what you are looking for. And then you can have the legs loosely crossed in front of you, or any way that feels comfortable. And then we will start to notice our breath. Let's just take a moment. Eyes can stay open or closed. Maybe if you're keeping them open, turning the gaze down, find something nice and still to rest your gaze on. And then just turn your attention to the breath. We want to try and just notice the natural rhythm of the breath. Just notice if we can see where it's feeling open and flowy, and where we might be feeling stuck. And there's no right or wrong. We're just trying to tune in and notice. I mean, I say this all the time. I know that the minute we turn our attention to our breath, it changes, but let's see if we can just keep it flowing naturally. Notice where it feels open, where it feels stuck. It might be deep in the belly. We might be feeling it a little bit higher up in the chest. We might just be feeling it in and out through our nose. Maybe we can bring in some awareness of sounds and smells. And then any tastes, and of course, physical touch. So notice the hands on the lap. Notice the seat in the mat or chair. Notice where other body parts are connecting. So if the knees and legs are crossed, you might be feeling connection in the legs. Noticing if we've started to slump in our posture, maybe we can straighten up through the spine. Maybe even roll the shoulders down and back. See how that changes anything for the breath. Does it open up space for the breath in kind of the heart center area? And then as we're here noticing, maybe taking this time to set an intention for our practice. This can be anything from I am grounded, I am calm, I am peaceful, to I will listen to my body, I will do more, I will do less. Whatever is resonating with you today, go ahead and take a few moments to let that sink into your cells, and at the same time, start to deepen the breath. So maybe inhaling your motto or mantra. So I will do less. And then exhaling it. I am open. So again, whatever it is, I'm just naming a few here. Inhale your motto or mantra. And exhale. A couple more rounds like this. And then when we feel ready, if the eyes are closed, starting to blink the eyes open. And now we can add in a little bit of that sense of sight and just take in our surroundings. Maybe just rub the hands on the thighs, create a little bit of heat. Let's root the hands back down. Let's start with a seated cat-cow. Let's inhale to lengthen through the spine and then lift the heart space up towards the ceiling. So we're lifting, sort of extending and lifting. We're not just trying to create an arch in the back for the sake of it. We're lifting straight up and then opening up on our inhale. And then on the exhale, starting to round through the low spine, middle spine, upper spine, exhaling here. You can even push into the lap if that works, or hold on to the knees to help splay the shoulder blades. And then again, you can pull the heart space up and through. Inhale and exhale. We're doing these big exaggerated cat-cows here. Inhaling, exhaling, inhale, and exhale. Good. Let's take a big inhale, come up to seated. Let's add a little bit of movement side to side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Let's let the left arm come down, right arm come over. We're going to just right away move. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling to reach up, exhaling, lifting over, creating that nice side bend. A couple more times on each side here. Keep breathing, moving at your own pace. It doesn't matter how fast or slow I'm going. This time, let's reach up, see if we can find length down both sides as we reach the fingers up towards the ceiling, maybe even squeezing the shoulders up towards the ears. And this time as we exhale, let's start to twist through the core and come over to the side. So the one arm will chop sort of in front of the body here, hook on the outside of the opposite knee. This is our seated twist, and we have a nice tall spine, and we're twisting through belly, ribs, and shoulders here. Good. Let's inhale, come through center. Exhale, let's twist over to the other side. Opposite arm comes across and reaches outside of opposite leg. Root down through the sit bones and twist through belly, ribs, and shoulders. Good, let's flow. Inhale. Twist over to one side. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the other side. One more on each side here. Let's inhale through center. Good. Let's just exhale the hands down to our lap again. Let's plant the hands on the thighs. We'll do a little bit of hip circles here. So just now moving the spine in all directions through these circles. So you can imagine sort of splaying the shoulder blades. You've got this sort of opening here. As we come through the center, we pull the heart space through, and then we've got a nice side stretch here, and then splaying shoulders. So the spine's moving in all kinds of juicy directions when we're doing these nice hip circles, noticing the weight transferring from side to side. Let's do a couple more in this direction. And then we'll come through center on an inhale. If you feel ready to change the cross of your legs, go ahead and do that now. Plant the hands back down. Let's circle in the other direction here. I'm just noticing how this might feel different as our weight shifts from side to side, moving in the opposite direction, splaying shoulder blades, pulling the heart space through. Good. Nice big movements here. We'll do a few more circles in this direction. And then we're going to pull the heart space through and exhale one more time. And on the inhale now, we'll sit up nice and tall. We'll just come to our seat, and we're going to lean over to one side, make our way to tabletop. So we'll come onto all fours here. We'll stack our joints, stacking these wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, really press everything into the mat. Engage through the core, nice, strong tabletop. We'll do a couple rounds of cat-cow or barrel rolls or anything that feels good here. Nice big movements here too through the spine. Nice big breaths. Push the mat away on the exhale and then come to a neutral spine here. Okay, we're going to keep with our theme of kind of moving and breathing. So let's kick our left leg out. We can immediately lift the leg off the mat, but we want to draw that left hip down so it's nice and parallel to the floor. And then if we feel comfortable with our balance and our strength, reach opposite arm. So we're taking a big inhale as we lift and reach here, and then we're going to exhale, lower it down and switch sides. So kick that right foot out to begin with, drop the right hip, and then lift it off the ground. If we feel strong, opposite arm comes off the ground as well. We inhale to reach, and then exhale, lower. Now finding a bit of movement with the breath. Inhale to lift and reach, exhale, lower. Moving at your perfect pace. So it might be slower or faster than mine, making sure to find nice deep breaths. Checking in. Good. Let's go one more on each side here. Inhale to lift and reach. Let's lower down here. We're going to start to twist from this position now. So I'm going to plant this right hand, and you might want to, it might feel like you have a bit more space if you open the knees up a little bit here. We're going to thread the needle. So the left arm is going to start to lift up and open. The hips are going to try and stay nice and even here as we twist through the core. So the heart spins open to the side. This is our inhale as we lift and reach. And the exhale, we're going to slide the left hand underneath the right and bring either the forehead or the side of the head down to the mat here. So whatever feels best, hips stay up. And then we're going to press into the right hand to help lift and open. Inhale here. We're going to do that again. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We're going to stay down for a count of 3 this time. So lower the ear or forehead down, whatever feels best. And then just settle in here and stay for 3. Hips are high. For 2. And 1. We're going to press into the support hand. One more time. Take a big inhale. Reach up and open. Lower down. We're going to do that all on the other side now. So just reposition the hands. Check in with the knees. Did they feel good in the space that we had? Did you want to make them wider or narrower? And then we're going to prep with an inhale, twisting through the core. So imagine you're sort of spinning the ribs over to the other side this time. Hips stay still, twisting through the core on the inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to thread that right arm under the left ear or forehead comes down. And then inhale to open and twist. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Got another inhale here. We're going to stay down this time. So whatever's comfortable, forehead or ear. Hips are high, support through the left hand. We're going to stay here for 3. Breathing for 2. And 1. Press into the support hand. We've got one more big inhale. Lower down. And then push the hips back. Come into child's pose. If the knees are nice and wide already, just melt down. Reach forward if that feels okay. Settle into child's pose. Breathe into the backside body. When we're ready, we're going to lift the forehead. We're just going to walk the hands over to the left. See if we can stack that right arm on top and then lower back down. So we're creating a C shape along the right side body here. Hips stay evenly heavy. Nice stretch down right side body for 3. 2. And 1. Lift the forehead, walk through center. And all the way over. Let's see if we can stack that left hand on the right. Left hip stay heavy, lower down. Feel a nice stretch down left side body. Stay for 3. 2. And 1. Let's lift that forehead. come back through center. Let's come on up to tabletop here. We'll make the knees narrow again. And now if you want to use your chair as some support, we're going to come into some lunges. So the chair can act as support. You might have blocks to bring the floor up to you, or you might be using the mat and the floor as the floor. So we're going to come into a bit of a lunge here. So for our lunge, let's step that right foot forward, and instead of being in this 90 degree, we want to position so that we can sink the hips. So it's not just about leaning forward, we're sort of sinking the hips forward. And you can see here I'm not in a 90 degree angle anymore. The hips are nice and heavy. I'm feeling a nice stretch all through the front side of the left hip flexor. And here's where maybe the chair is coming in handy. Maybe you're supporting yourself on your leg, your blocks, or maybe even reaching down on fingertips or flat hands, whatever works. We want to see if we can just sink the hips. See how it feels here. Coming into a lunge. Try to square the hips off to the front as well. We're just going to stay here and see if we can feel any sort of release. Stay for 3. For 2, and 1. Now, if you're not already down to the mat, if you're up on the chair here on the legs, let's see if we can come down to the blocks or the floor and see if you need to walk that right foot out a little bit just to make room so you can plant that left hand down, and we're going to come into another twist. It's a little variation on the one we were just doing. We're reaching the right arm up, twisting through the core here. Hips stay low. We're going to stay here for 3, for 2, for 1. Now we're going to see if we can press into the foot, hands, and use some core strength to come up. We're still in a twist. I know I'm facing away from you. And then we're going to keep windmilling those arms so that right hand comes down, reaches across the body for the left leg. Now the left arm is reaching up. And we're in a bit of a reverse twisty, low lunge warrior type posture. It's a big, open, stretchy posture. Stay for 3. Breathing for 2. And 1. Let's windmill the hands back through center, all the way down to the mat. The hands will come to the inside of the foot and press the hips back. So we're coming into a bit of a half split. So you can see my leg is now straight, the one in front. I'm going to try and square the hips off. I might need to move my foot, adjust the position there. Option to sit all the way back if that feels good. Still nice straight leg in the front, feeling that stretch down the front back leg. You can still see I'm hinged forward at the hips. I have a nice strong back. We don't need to be down all the way. Your hips can be up as well. And you might be on blocks here. You might be using the chair. We just don't want to lean and put too much weight on this floating kind of knee. So finding what works for you. Fists for wrists are an option as well. Good. Point those toes back towards your face and stay for 3. For 2. And 1. Let's see if we can walk forward as we bend that leg. Good. Let's take a big inhale, reach the arms up and open. Let's inhale up through center. See if we can come all the way back to that front leg straight. And then let's do that again. Bend through the front leg, hips sink, reach up and open. Inhale to reach up, send the hips back, draw the toes up. 1 more. Bend into the front leg, see if we can scoop up, inhale, exhale, open. Inhale to come up and reach the hips back last time. Good. Let's just bring that foot forward and we'll make our way back to tabletop. So you might want to use your chair or any way you can to come back to tabletop. Option here to go straight to child's pose or flow through some cat-cow or maybe even some barrel rolls. Just to sort of recalibrate, notice how the one side of the body feels compared to the other before we go to the other side here. All right, when we're ready, come back to tabletop, take a breath, find that nice tabletop, And we're just coming out of it right away. We're gonna step that left foot forward and come in to our lunge. So we're gonna step that left foot forward. We're gonna sink the hips nice and deep. So again, I don't have a 90-degree angle in this back leg. I'm not up on the knee here like this. I've sunk the hips forward. I'm still sitting nice and upright though. I have a nice stretch happening in the right hip flexor. So again, you might be supporting yourself with the chair on the knee here, or you might be down on the mat or blocks. And here's where we want to spend a little bit of time just to see if we can release those hips a little deeper. Taking a few breaths here, breathe into that right hip flexor and stay for 3, for 2, and 1. Now, if you're not already down towards the mat like this, come on down. We're going to plant that right hand. You may want to open up the space here by walking the foot out towards the edge of the mat a little bit. And we're going to open up, find a twist here on the opposite side. So we're in this low lunge twist. We're reaching. Now we're going to push into the front foot and the hand and use momentum of this top arm to see if we can windmill the hands all the way up. We're still in a twist, twisting towards that left leg. And then we're going to hinge back and the left arm reaches for right leg. Man, I'm in a pretzel here. Right arm reaches up. Big, open, juicy, twisting, lungy warrior posture. Stay for 3. Don't forget to breathe. For 2. And 1. Let's windmill those hands back even and then all the way down, and they're going to press into the mat to send the hips back. So now here we have this nice straight leg on opposite leg. You may want to walk that leg in a little bit. You may want to play with sitting a little further back onto the heel or keeping the hips upright and just finding the right position for your leg to create a nice stretch here. If you need to put some padding under the back knee for this, go ahead, double up your mat or stick a little blanket underneath or towel if you have that handy. And we're just going to stay here, flexing the toes up towards the face. And then we're going to see if we can walk ourselves back forwards into that lunge. Sweep the arms up for an inhale. Exhale, open up. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, let's see if we can send the hips all the way back. So we're working on a bit of balance here, a bit of like dancing movement with breath. Inhale, bend the front leg. Exhale, open. Inhale. Exhale, start to send those hips back. Find support with the hands wherever you can. And then transfer the weight back into that front foot. Inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale. Exhale to come back. Let's come back to our lunge here. Just make your way there any way that feels safe. And we're going to step back into tabletop, again, where you can do barrel rolls, cat-cow, anything that feels good, or come into child's pose and lower down. From here, let's make our way to our bellies. So we can make our way down any way that feels safe here. Good. Let's just bring the hands a little bit wider than mat distance. Zip up the legs so the feet and all the legs are touching. And we're just going to flow with our breath a little bit. We're going to inhale to lift the heart space and then exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's add a twist. Inhale to lift. Exhale, dip the right shoulder. So twisting a little bit through the core. Inhale and exhale. Now I've come off my fingertips for this. You can stay up on fingertips, make any adjustments you need. Just flow with your breath. Exhaling to dip one shoulder. Inhaling through center. Exhale, dip the opposite shoulder. Let's go a couple more times on each side. Zip up the legs, squeeze the glutes. One more, each side. Inhale to lift, exhale, lower. Really think about articulating through that spine. Good, let's inhale through center. Let's lower down. We're gonna cross our hands underneath forehead, let it all go for a couple of breaths. Maybe you want to even step the feet wide, rock the hips a little bit. All these postures, you're in your private yoga practice space, so no one's watching. Just shake it all out for a few breaths. And then come through center. Let's bring our elbows underneath our shoulders, hands pointing towards the edge of the mat. We're going to be in our little Sphinx pose here for a minute. So imagine you're sort of pulling yourself forward. Don't actually pull. Just imagine you're pulling yourself forward with your forearms and hands here to create lift, and instead of just crunching into the low back. All right, let's release that for a minute, and we're going to just come into either a single or double bow here. So if it's single, we're going to have the right arm come across the mat. It's going to be lined up to the short edge of the mat. Left hand reaches for left ankle, and then we try and square the shoulders back off to the short edge of the mat here. And you can just continue to sort of gently stretch out the quad here, or you can kick into the hand and feel a bit of a lift. Now, that's the single, and we'll do 2 rounds if you're coming in, so you can switch sides. If you're coming into double bow, both hands reach for both ankles, squeeze the bum, kick the hands into the feet into the hands, and lift up. And we'll stay here if you're in double for 3, for 2, and 1. Let's lower down, let it all go for a breath. Shake it out again. Prepare to go again. This time as we lift into Sphinx, we'll stack the elbows under the shoulders. Just a little prep work here. Feeling nice and open, feeling that sense of squared off to the short edge of the mat. And then now we'll cross that left hand so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Kick right foot, reach back for right foot, find your stretch or your kick into your leg and lift, or both hands, both feet or ankles, kick into the hands, resist, 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 open up for 3. For 2, keep breathing. For 1, lower down, last time here, crossing the ankle, the wrists, shaking out the hips. And then from here, we're gonna lift our forehead, bring our hands under our shoulders, press ourselves up and back through tabletop into child's pose. Now, you can go into the child's pose you've been doing throughout the practice, or option to draw the knees nice and tight together, drape the body over the thighs, lower forehead, and bring the hands down to the side of the body, palms turned up. This will just open up and round through the back, kind of countering the extensions we were just doing in those bows. Breathe into that backside body for 3, for 2, and 1. All right, let's lift our forehead, come on up, and we're going to make our way down to our back. So rolling onto the hips, swinging the legs around to the front, and just making sure you scooch to the end of your mat so you have room to roll down. I'm using one of my legs to help me get down there. And then I'm going to draw both legs in towards my belly and rock side to side. One final little bit of twisting here. Keeping the knees drawn in if you'd like. Arms come into T or cactus. Let the knees fall over to the left, gaze to the right. The left hand can help guide the knee over. Think about the shoulders both melting into the mat. And then gaze comes back through center. Release the legs, draw them back up through center, and then over to the other side. I just have to scooch over a little bit here so I don't hit my little fire. Gentle twist. Right arm can guide the knees across, both shoulders melting down, gazes over left shoulders if that feels okay on the neck. Breathing here, trying to settle the breath a little bit. And then we'll bring the gaze back through center, release the hand, bring the legs back through center as well. Lower the feet. I just need to reposition the hips. You can do that too. And then we're going to make our way to Shavasana. So knees can be bent or straight out in front of us, or you can even be on your side or belly, whatever feels best. Options to bring hands to our body and connect, or draw them down to our sides, turning palms up, taking up as much space on our mats as we can. And from here, we can scan our bodies. Just trying to see if we're holding on to any tension anywhere, and then maybe letting it go. See if we can soften and melt into the mat. Let the mat do the work for us here. Shavasana is the time for our physical and energetic bodies to absorb all that good work we just did and turn it into something magical. It's a time for integration and rest. And know that rest is different from sleep, and that we need both every day. And we should never pass up an opportunity to just rest and do nothing. Now, the beauty of practicing through the lens, of course, is if your body wants or needs to stay in Shavasana for any longer, by all means, press pause or let the video play out and stay exactly as you are. If you are ready to get on with your day, week, month, and year ahead, and start to wiggle through fingers, circling wrists and ankles, maybe stretching long along the mat or curling into a little ball one last time, just before making your way to a comfortable seated position. And once we're here, we can take a breath together to end the practice. We can inhale, sweeping our arms up overhead. Exhale, draw the hands through heart center. Feel free to rest them in prayer or just rest them over your heart or back down onto your thighs. I want to thank you so much for allowing me into your personal private yoga practice spaces and for allowing me to guide you through this fun, flowing practice. I hope you have a great week ahead of it, and I can't wait to practice with you again next week. Take care. Thank you, everyone. I hope that felt a little bit like yoga and a little bit like dancing. Have a great week. We'll see you here again next week. Bye-bye.